Yes. Bugün ne yapacağız? What will we do today? We'll talk about conjunctions. We will talk about this list of useful words to combine sentences or combine words together. Okay? It will be very beginner friendly. We will start with the basics and it will lead up to advanced conjunctions. So the first part is like one of the very basic words you need to know as a beginner. But let's learn what's a conjunction, how it works. So they're like connecting words. They put two words or two sentences together. Okay? And they make your sentences more complex and they make it sound more elegant. They make you sound more advanced. That's why they are kind of important. And examples to those is and, but, because, therefore. Wait, there's a little typo on therefore here. Such words that connect two words to sentences. If you want to make a big sentence, you can use this. Okay? And what do we call them in Turkish? We call them bağlaç in Turkish. And that's kind of convenient to remember because it comes from bağlamak. Bağlamak, bağlaç. You can see the same root. If I say this in Turkish, iki cümleyi bağlıyoruz. We are connecting two sentences. İki cümleyi bağlıyoruz. And we have ve, ama, çünkü, bu yüzden, and a few more other bağlaç in Turkish. And what you should expect from this lesson? Just a list of useful conjunctions. As I said, the basic ones and the advanced ones. Of course, there will be other conjunctions that we will not talk about here. It is kind of not impossible, but not practical to have all of them in one lesson because it will be too much. Okay. And should you know something before the lesson? Well, that depends. Preferably, yes. If you know some basic grammar, some basic vocabulary, that will be used better because it's better than nothing. But you can still stay here. You can still follow this lesson. You can still learn new things. And let me answer that question. Does this lesson explain the difference between bileşik, bağlaç, and sıfat? No. That's the basics, like, maybe. We will see examples of some sıfat, isim, other things, but that's kind of off topic. We will maybe touch upon that, but we will not go into details. Okay, let's start with ve. Our first conjunction, our first connecting word is ve. And what does ve do and what does it mean? What it does is connecting adjectives, adverbs, nouns, verbs, and even sentences. And as I said, let's touch upon what an adjective is, what an adverb is. An adjective is basically a describing word like handsome, beautiful, fast, small. These describe other objects, people. And adverbs, just like adjectives, they describe actions. Like fastly, slowly, or I don't know, quickly. And there's also verbs. Verbs are basically actions. When you go to a place, go is a verb. When you sleep, sleep is a verb. When you walk is a verb. And nouns, every other object, concept, animals, people, like except for adjectives and verbs, there's also nouns. Maybe when we see examples, you will understand them better. So ve can connect adjective with adjective. For example, o çalışkan ve başarılı bir öğrenci. Çalışkan ve başarılı bir öğrenci. Çalışkan means hardworking, başarılı means successful, öğrenci means student. So, çalışkan ve başarılı bir öğrenci. We combined two sentences. We are describing the student and we put the çalışkan and başarılı together. Or, in the second example, we are describing the weather. Hava means weather. So, today, bugün, hava. Wait, there's a little typo again. Let me fix that real quick. Not rüzgarlı, but rüzgarlı. Bugün hava rüzgarlı ve soğuk. You can put them into separate sentences if you want to. Bugün hava soğuk ve bugün hava rüzgarlı, or bugün hava soğuk, full stop, bugün hava rüzgarlı. But of course, instead of repeating the words, instead of saying unnecessary things again and again, you can put them into one sentence. Bugün hava rüzgarlı ve soğuk. Today, the weather is windy and cold. If you have a few examples with adjectives, you can type in the channel. Mesela o küçük ve sevimli. She is small and cute. Küçük ve sevimli. Or büyük, big ve korkunç. Büyük ve korkunç. Big and scary. Okay? And we will go in the same order, like after adjectives, we will have adverbs. So as I was explaining earlier, adverbs are descriptive words for verbs, like they describe actions. Ödevini yavaşça ve düzgünce yap. Yavaşça ve düzgünce yap. Do your homework slowly and properly. Düzgünce can mean a lot of things. In this context, it's like doing something properly, in the appropriate way. Do it slowly and properly. That's correct Nemo. Çorap, kalın ve yumuşak. And the second example, düğmeye hızlıca ve sertçe bastı. Basmak, to press, bastı, he or she pressed. Düğme is the button. So he pressed the button quickly and firmly. Hızlıca ve sertçe bastı. Also, as a little quick tip, you can see these ç and ca suffixes. And hızlı is an adjective, like you can say hızlı araba, fast car, and when you insert ca on it, it becomes an adverb, hızlıca. Like hızlı araba, fast car, araba hızlıca gitti. The car went fastly. Or sert means firm, and sertçe, firmly. Is ly ending in English is like ç or ca suffix. And of course that there are a few details. So That depends on the context, but as a rule of thumb, you can remember the ja suffix as adverb making suffix. Okay. We will come to sentence later because that's kinda important. Wait, don't go. Okay. Now let's talk about verb and verb. Like, now we will combine actions. Adam televizyonu açtı ve oturdu. Televizyonu açtı, açmak, to open, ve oturdu, oturmak, to sit down. Or the second sentence, dün eve geldim ve uyudum. Yesterday, dün, eve geldim, I came home ve uyudum. And went to sleep. Eve geldim ve uyudum. Okay, I hope you see the pattern. We can combine almost every kind of word with ve. Okay, the question is, I heard that ve is not used in speech. I wouldn't say often. It could be still used, but I will say it is possible to drop it. You can also just say as a separate sentences, dün eve geldim, uyudum. That works. Using ve is also possible. I don't know how often it will be dropped, but I wouldn't make a general rule. It's not a good idea to generalize it like this. It is still fairly common. But there are a few colloquial ways, I will show that in a bit, to replace ve, especially with verbs. Evet, doğru Nemo. Hayır. Yani, yes, you can drop the personal markers, but in this context, you can't drop it. Actually, you cannot drop personal markers. You can drop some suffixes like dative, maybe, or a few other suffixes, but not the personal markers. Because when you drop it, it sounds like it changes the pronoun. It becomes like o geldi, he came. But since it changes the meaning, that's not correct. But I will show a few more examples that are correct to drop it. And there's this one, noun ve noun. Bir defter ve kalem aldım. Bir defter ve kalem aldım. Bir kedi ve köpek yemek yiyor. You can, as usual, combine nouns with other nouns. It doesn't make any difference in the meaning. It's still ve. But now let's finally talk about sentence versus sentence. This part is the advanced part, like this one is the important part. Kitaplarını çıkar ve ders çalışmaya başla. As you can see here, I'm saying two different things. Kitaplarını çıkar ve ders çalışmaya başla. Take out, not out. Take out your books and start studying. Ders çalışmak, to study. We have two words, ders and çalışmak. Separately, ders is like lesson, çalışmak is like studying or working. So working on a lesson, studying, ders, çalışmak. And in the second sentence, second example, onu arayacağım ve her şeyi ona anlatacağım. I will call him or her and tell him or her everything. Onu arayacağım ve ona her şeyi anlatacağım. Okay? I want to point out this different pronoun here, or different object, not the pronoun. Like first, I am saying accusative, onu arayacağım, and then I am saying ona anlatacağım. So if your verb in two sentences are different, you need to repeat the pronoun with correct endings. In daily life, native speakers will probably be like putting them together. Onu arayacağım ve her şeyi anlatacağım. But that is technically a mistaken, or like a sentence with a mistake. Onu anlatacağım is not correct. Ona anlatacağım. You need to insert ona. If you combine two sentences with two different verbs that take different case endings, like accusative and dative, you should mention the new pronoun with the new case. Okay? And what does the la mean? Yeah, exactly. The la makes verbs from nouns. Baş, lamak. Su, lamak. Cevap, lamak. And so on. Okay? And now let's talk about ama, fakat, ancak, lakin. Ama, fakat, ancak, lakin. Okay, one of the first meanings of ama, we will start with ama. It combines sentences. So I will take sentence versus sentence. Like this one, wait. Yeah, Lucas, some of them are old, some of them are a bit formal. So I will talk about this detail. Wait, okay. So let's start with the basics again. And if I say defterim var ama kalemim yok, there needs to be a contrast between your sentences. The first one is usually positive. The second one is usually negative. Defterim var ama kalemim yok. Or müzik dinlemeyi seviyorum ama şarkı söylemeyi sevmiyorum. I like listening to music, but I don't like singing. There's always a contrast, there's always a but. And that's actually why we say amadan bir cümlede ama varsa öncesindeki şeylerin hiçbir önemi yok. If there's ama in a sentence, whatever comes before it, it doesn't matter. Yeah, iyiyim ama biraz yorgunum. İyiyim ama biraz yorgunum. Yeah, some people don't like hearing ama. Defterle kalem var ama kitabım yok. Okay, that's correct. İyiyim ama biraz yorgunum. Mesela em, sizinle gelmek istiyorum ama ders çalışmam gerek. Sizinle gelmek istiyorum ama ders çalışmam gerek. All of these are possible. I want to come with you, but I need to study. So the part after ama always contradicts or um, eliminates the first part. Like it makes it like negative. I want to come, but I need to study. Okay, so now let's talk about the difference between those fakat, ancak, lakin. So the difference is I will put them under formal like this and informal and outdated like archaic. It's not ever used in daily life anymore. So which one do you think is formal between those ama, fakat, ancak, lakin? That's correct. Fakat and ancak are formal. Fakat and ancak. They are both formal. And informal is ama and there's also lakin. Yes, lakin is ancient. You only hear it in old books and in old movies. I don't think you will ever hear it from a native speaker. If you heard them, yeah, they are really a boomer. They really are. Sometimes people like sounding old-fashioned. So maybe they were, pretending. We don't use lakin anymore, but if you read books, you will see it. That's what I included it. In books, it is still um, common. Yeah, if you watch Ertuğrul or Osman, you will see it a lot. When we talk about çünkü, there's also an ancient alternative to çünkü. Okay, so now that we have ve and ama, there are a few things we need to talk about. The flexibility. So now let's talk about the because conjunctions. That one will be a bit more short because there's not that much trick about it. There's not that much details. So we have çünkü and zira. So let's have this. Let's just jump to examples. Kitap okuyorum çünkü Türkçe öğrenmek istiyorum. Kitap okuyorum çünkü Türkçe öğrenmek istiyorum. Yes, zira is outdated. So the difference between zira and çünkü is basically the same as lakin and ama. It's not about formality this time, just outdated. Right, instead of lakin, we have zira. If you watch Ertuğrul, if you watch Osman, the TV shows, you can hear zira as the same way as çünkü, but in daily life no one uses that. Kitap okuyorum çünkü Türkçe öğrenmek istiyorum. Film izliyorum çünkü boş vaktim var. Okay, what else could we say? I could use your examples. You do something because what? Give me a few examples from your life. That's perfect. Ders çalışıyorum çünkü meslek sahibi olmak istiyorum. Çünkü kullanırım. Çünkü zira eskimiş. Yeah, that works. Çünkü kullanıyorum. Çünkü zira eskimiş. Onu sevmiyorum çünkü o bir kötü kadın. Let's write it. Onu sevmiyorum çünkü o bir ya da çünkü o kötü bir insan. Okay, I said there's not that much trick, but actually there is. I just remembered. I want to put the other ways, like we will still have reason and result, but in the word order will be different. We will still have the same examples, so I will just copy paste them. But we can change the word, we can change our conjunction to other parts. Do you guys know the alternatives? Like what, like instead of çünkü, what could I say? So the first part, like results comes first and then reason comes here. In the other parts, if I change this, reason comes first and then result. Like by result, I mean whatever the effect is. There is için, exactly. There are also a few things. Do you guys know any other alternatives? So I will go with için first. Türkçe öğrenmek istediğim için okuyorum. So what I did here is putting this diyim için. And I have im because it's ben. İstediğim için. If I say okuyorsun, This will be istediğin için. This in part depends on the person. Im, like ben, im. Sen, in. There's bu yüzden, bu sebeple, bu nedenle. Yes, they are all correct. I will use this same example. Türkçe öğrenmek istiyorum. Bu nedenle, wait, let's put them like this. Bu nedenle, bu sebeple, bu yüzden kitap okuyorum. Oh, there's also dolayısıyla. Dolayısıyla. Türkçe öğrenmek istiyorum. Dolayısıyla kitap okuyorum. Even like dolayısıyla, bu yüzden, bu sebeple, bu nedenle, they all use reason first. And also için. I should color them as well. Maybe I can put them in the same line. The meaning is the same. There's not detail, there's nothing you should be careful with, except for the word order. With the word order, like için, çünkü talks about the reason after. The other ones, için, nedenle, dolayısıyla, they talk about the reason first. And I want to use a different example, like the last example. We have the copula here. O kötü bir insan. How do you rewrite this with için? Almost. Almost correct. Yes, exactly. We have the copula thing, we have the to be thing, like Emizar, he is a bad person or she is a bad person, but we can't use, we have to use a verb. So we have olmak as our like backup. O kötü bir insan olduğu için onu sevmiyorum. Okay, as you can see, olduğu için onu sevmiyorum. The difference in delivery, I feel like it is about what you want to focus on. When you say the result and reason after, you focus on you don't like her or you don't like him. Then you include the reason. You can even, change it. Like you can even not mention it if it's not important. But the second one, reason comes first. So that means you want to focus on the reason. You want to pay more attention on why you don't like him. Okay, so it all depends on what you want to focus. Like whatever you say first, result or reason, it gets the attention. Yeah, I don't like her, and you can stop here. You don't even have to continue. If the person asks why, then you will say çünkü blah blah blah, or olduğu için, kötü biri olduğu için onu sevmiyorum. With olduğu için, you are already you already mentioned the reason, so you can't even stop there. You have to complete and finish the sentence. Evet, yeah, since or because.